Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Let's Connect Now. Okay, so we hope you guys liked last week's episode because Monica sure did. I mean, a lot of points were proven. I mean, did you even watch it, Monica, to see if you learned anything different, or what was your take on it?
Of course I did, and I was laughing half of the time, but there was just a lot of things that I could have said differently, I think. And I think we went off topic for a little bit.
But why were you laughing?
Because I thought it was funny.
Why?
Because just the way you think and.
Wait. Oh wow, guys! It's funny because of the way I think.
Because of the way you think and the way I think.
Okay, good. Okay.
And so, but before we get into our topic today, I just want to say, just talk a little bit about, what took place yesterday.
The other day.
Yeah, the other day. And
what was it?
The Mega Mix.
Oh yeah, we attended. Thank you, Tony Chi Gutierrez, for inviting us to the Mega Mix Expo
at the Ontario
Convention
Center. Yeah. So, what did you think? What are your thoughts on that?
It was his first one, and our first time attending something.
It was his first one
in Ontario. Yeah. Yes, in Ontario and stuff. So he had a lot of vendors and a lot of people, and I think he for his first one, it was good. It was good. I'm excited to see the one in March, and if you guys missed. It'll be there. What do you take? I mean, I can see you want to say some words.
No, it was funny because I'm used to talking here in the mic and everything, and then, changing things around, unexpectedly. I mean, I was doing like interviews and I've never done them before, and I was actually freaking out. And then the people were the ones that sounded more nervous, but little did they know that I was nervous,
I knew it
because it was different for me. I've never done anything like that before.
And I'm proud of you. And that's seriously, guys, we are proud of her because yes, she stepped out of her comfort zone because, the way Let's Connect Now is going, we're going to be sometimes on location. So we have to both get used to. Well, I've done it a lot where I've interviewed people on the spot and got their reactions.
Yeah, to you, it was supernatural. For me, it was unnatural. It felt unnatural,
because you're not used to just interacting right away with somebody you don't know.
Yeah,
you like to, introduce yourself, start building rapport.
Yeah,
and those type of things. But then now it's like you had to boom, right in that second.
Yeah, it was like 30-second interviews. It was really strange, and then I had a little encounter with something that was totally unexpected. When I talked to this one man, I won't mention names, but it really threw me off completely 100%. But there's a lot of learning that I still have, that I have to kind of, accept that I need to do.
It's just getting out of your comfort zone.
But when I was talking to the exhibitors there, I mean, it was okay because I knew some of them, I knew about them, and that was okay. But it was just those little 30-second interviews that were so uncomfortable for me. So if any of the exhibitors watch this, I mean, I was uncomfortable too, and it was just different for me.
You were uncomfortable. You were just what we did yesterday, and okay, we'll give you guys good feedback because yes, this is new to you, and Monica's learning, so. We threw her to the wolves basically, and told her. I even walked away, so that because at first she thought my turn, your turn to interview, and I told Felix I'm walking away, so she does all the interviews so we could get her used to it, and I literally left, and then you came back and it's your turn now.
And then on top of everything else, I had to do some of them in Spanish, and I'm not used to interviewing anybody in Spanish. I don't really know the correct words to use or whatever. So
right.
I didn't know if I needed.
Yeah, you are Spanish speaking, but you don't do it a lot.
Yeah, but I don't not for that. But anyway, it was something different for me. I stepped out of my comfort zone, I guess. I don't know how I did. I can't wait to see the video. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but hey, everybody learns at some point or another, has to really learn a little bit of everything, especially in this industry that we're taking on, of podcasts, being influencers in the community and doing all that. Hey, kudos to all those who do that because it's a lot. It's a lot.
No, it is a lot of work, and kudos to you. Proud of you. You did a lot of stuff yesterday, and it was good.
But can I just say something about that? Not everybody you interview is the same or has the same energy either.
No.
So I had to be repetitive. they weren't, but their styles are different, and I didn't know how to stop the person when they're just going forever. Of course we tell them ahead of time it's 30 seconds, but they're going on and on and on, and I didn't want to be disrespectful and interrupt them, so I still have to learn how to like stop that. You know?
Yeah. And there's a way, and there's a method, but with practice, you will eventually be able to just go right into there and because at one point one lady, she messed up, but I made a joke out of it with her, and we proceeded. We proceeded because it's just
you made it a funny.
Yes,
you made it a funny, and then after she even got her phone out, she goes, "Did I say that was .com or was it .org?" And I was like, oh. She was just laughing. But you make people feel very comfortable. I noticed that you even were shaking people's hands. I'm like just doing it and like ready to walk away, like I'm done. Hey,
yeah, she was like this. So enjoy yourself. And I was like, and the guy's like this. And I was like, Monica, shake his hand.
Wow, I need to go to training school.
But you did good. Weird. You did good. And honestly, with those type of things, that you'll get used to it. And we're going to be out there again. I mean, we do have an event coming up. Hispanic Heritage Month is coming up. It's almost upon us, and we are going to be out there as well. Interviewing people right on the spot, not making it long, getting some interviews, so you'll be able to practice again. She said, "Oh no,
no, it's fine. I think I did okay last year as well. Especially if I know the person, I feel very comfortable. But those kind of things were just like totally like I've never done that before.
Yeah.
So, but with that said, we had fun and really enjoyed ourselves.
It was a great experience for us to get out there, and we got to meet new people. We seen some people we knew. And that's the most important part of us getting back out there and doing this. So it's part of our name. Let's connect now.
Yeah, and we've been really supportive of what Tony Chi Gutierrez is doing with this Mega Mix. He's been doing it for such a long time.
Yes,
he's so good at it. He's just one of those powerful networking individuals that really bring people together. I mean, he had sponsors, so many sponsors.
Yes.
There were so many exhibitors. And it was great. We learned a lot from a lot of people. So with that said, you know what? We just want to say kudos to you, Tony. You did an amazing job. Can't wait to, Santa Anita, in March.
Yes, in March. So guys, if you are a business or you're an entrepreneur, make sure you guys, go check out megamixexpo.com, register, get involved. We'll be there again. And I believe it's going to be, I believe in Santa Anita, and he's going to have a lot more things, music and stuff, and we're going to be a part of that. So it's going to be pretty big. We're excited about that.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a quick break, but before we go to our break, we have a very good subject. Another subject, Monica, Rod. Look at her. She's laughing because she's excited. She likes to put me in the spot, guys.
Well, because I feel like when I pick these specific topics, it's a way of people really getting to know who we are, and also like we're sharing something that it's real, like
we're being real.
That are real. So that's why I do my research, and I really come up with these.
She does her research and tells me the day of, so she comes.
That's how you want it.
No,
yeah, you did. As long as I know the day before, but since today we were busy, I'm telling him the morning of. It's all right. and that is part of that probably this topic plays a part of that. So it is. So when we get back, we're going to get into this very interesting topic. Communication. Communication styles between men and women.
Woo! And as you can see, we're great at it. So we're going to take a quick break. You're going to hear about some of our sponsors, and we'll be right back, guys.
This episode is brought to you by Massage Envy, with 2 locations here in West Covina and in Diamond Bar, by our friends from Prospectors Federal Credit Union, with also 2 locations, West Covina and Diamond Bar, by our friends from Suburban Water, our friends from Plaza West Covina, by our friends from Med Spa Deluxe LA. We can be happier. Thank you. They also have 2 locations, one here in West Covina and their newest location in Rancho Cucamonga.
Also, we want to thank Black Widow Investigations. If you have a case that needs investigation on bike accident, lawsuit. Call Black Widow Investigations, and also No Chance Foundation, a awesome nonprofit that we support here locally.
Affordable self-care from professional massage therapists and estheticians. It's what we do. Massage Envy, where better begins.
Hey everyone, this is Danielle with Prospectors Federal Credit Union. Just checking in with you guys, see how everything is going. Also wanted to share we have some amazing summer CD promotions right now. You guys have worked hard for your money. Your money needs to work just as hard for you. So come check us out. Check out our website. We're at www.prospectorsfcu.org, or you can visit us on our Instagram at prospectorsfcu, or give us a call, 909-396-9688. You want to reach me directly, you can get me at my extension at 2240. Come see us. We want to go ahead and share all of our promotions. We have, especially with the CDs, we have a 5% APY for 5 months. We do have an 8-month at 4% APY, and we even have a 12-month at 4.5% APY. You want to know more? Come see me. See you guys soon. Bye.
Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And if you own a business, DM us if you want to come on our show. If you have product that you want us to talk about, if you're a brand new business, send us a DM. We would love to showcase you here in our show. We have a lot of things coming up in the next few months, so make sure you guys are looking at our promos on Instagram. And thank you so much for watching every Tuesday night on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay, guys, we are back, and as you can see, Monica has the grin on her face because she is excited for this. So once again, what is our topic? Because, you know, we are great at communication.
Communication styles between men and women.
We are the perfect people to explain this.
Yeah, that is for sure. So, for most of you don't know, but we have a history. As long as we've known each other, which is probably, did I just hit myself?
Yes, you did.
We've known each other for
Thank you, Lord.
We've known each other for what, 15, 16 years or so?
Basically, almost as long as you've had the GWC, 15 years, because people don't know this, but I've been, when she was over across the street by Panera Bread, you were there, and then you went to a law office, and then you went to the city, and then you went here. I've been, everybody, with her along her journey with the GWC.
I think I saw him once a year. And,
yes, basically, because we would argue. Communication.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't have very good communication skills. It didn't come from me.
Oh.
It came from him. He didn't communicate with me exactly what it is that he wanted to do. So I just kind of was like, yeah, no.
This is going to be a great discussion.
And anyway, so off and on, up until what? Just before, no, well, it was like 2018 or whatever when you really came back. And you were part of our advisory committee, and he would actually do really well. He would, you would videotape all of our events, and but we still didn't talk much. We really didn't know much about each other. I only, called him when I needed him for videos and stuff.
Wow,
which is,
that's true.
That's the truth. And but after COVID, I saw that you were doing your podcast, and I kind of took an interest on podcasts and wanted to learn a lot, but I still don't feel that I learned to be me up until a couple years ago, maybe, when I decided, I just need to be me, because I was trying to even pick up like the pitch of his voice, and it was horrible.
Like when you know how you guys hear me going, "Hey everybody," she starts doing that, "Hey everybody."
Yeah, I thought that I needed to do that, and you know what? I at the end of the day, I knew that when it comes to podcasting, you just have to be yourself.
Yes, you have to be yourself.
You can't. People usually pick up when you're fake, or you're trying to be like someone else.
Correct.
So, but that's something that I discovered on my own. It wasn't communicated to me. So
there we go. Oh my God, this is gonna be a great subject. So why do you think we're the best to discuss this? Why do you think?
A lot of people say we're dynamic together. A lot of people say that we have a great connection,
Great chemistry,
great chemistry, and this and that. I mean, people have even said, weird stuff, right? They think we're married, or they think, so many different opinions out there. They formulate their own opinion about who we are and how we work together. So I just want to kind of clear the air about that, because definitely he has his spouse, I have mine.
Yes.
A lot of people
Thank
know
you,
that.
Jesus. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Because of the way we communicate, we do argue quite a bit. But I think
I don't think we argue. I think we.
No. Yes, we do.
Wow.
I think
I'm over trying to be professional and trying to protect our. And she's like, no, yes, we do. See, guys, we argue.
Especially when we're trying to, when we're trying to identify what our roles are. We've had a lot of, disagreements.
Yeah, that's what I say. They're disagreements.
Yeah, disagreements.
Yeah,
I mean, but they're kind of arguments.
It's not like you ever took all the picture frames off the wall and said you were done.
Of course I didn't. Of course I didn't throw my computer down or anything. Of course I didn't just get my keys and stepped out and left. Of course you didn't do that either.
Yes.
How dare you?
And then realize you're my transportation.
There you go.
Wow. Okay, guys, I'm getting hot, guys. I'm getting hot in here.
Yeah, so right now you guys can't see, but he has a fan on himself because he knew he was going to sweat.
Wow. Well, this is going to be a great episode. I hope you guys are really liking this stuff that we're putting out now. Yes, and it is business, because the majority of the time we talk to each other is during business. So
the beauty about this and about this relationship that we have is that, okay, so if we were both working for a company and we had to get along, I think we would really hate each other.
Right. We would avoid each other,
yes.
not even cross each other's path.
So, but because this is something that is
we're doing together,
that we're doing together, that we're building together.
Yes.
We have. I mean, there's room for all that. Where we could resolve things on our own, resolve things together, and we know that we have to get along if we want to make this work.
Yeah, because
right? My
are
style is totally different. Your style is totally different.
Yes, and your HR department Monday, I'm HR department Tuesday. So it's not working out. And Aiden is HR department Wednesday. He's not here.
Yeah. But the thing is that, regardless of what our differences and our different styles of doing things,
of doing business,
and viewing different situations, that's what makes us unique, probably,
right.
and
it
makes us like, because I've embraced your style, and I don't know if you've embraced mine. I don't think fully, but that's okay. Nobody really does.
You're so bad. Oh my God.
Nobody really gets me ever, really. Not even at home.
Oh my God.
My husband has a hard time adjusting to my personality. I know that.
Oh man, God, guys, this is really getting hot in the studio, guys. Oh my God, I love you, Monica. I love you, man. You're funny.
That's okay. I've learned to embrace myself and my style.
Yes, and you're supposed to. You're supposed to.
And
we track who we are, and they always say in different relationships, which this is a business relationship, you attract the opposite, and yes, my style is completely different from your style. You're a little more conservative. I'm a little more edgy and rough around the edges.
Very hard to manage.
Oh, wow, you're trying to manage me.
Yes,
okay.
Well, at first,
of course, yes, she was trying to manage. And actually, some of her influence has worked. I am starting to dress up a lot lately, and not because I have to, but because your vibe rubs off on me, where I want to dress up. I want to look a certain way, because I feel that this is a very great industry that we're in, and I like business. And in order to conduct business, you got to be a businessman.
Well, you got to be
my own style, in my own style.
Yeah, of course.
Because you told me that, don't lose your style. Because you saw me dressing a little more, and you're like, you told me the other day, JR, still keep your style though, because that's who you are, and I appreciated that, and you told me that, and that's why I still dress, but I do it like, I'm dressed, but I put my hat on.
That's who you are.
That's
who you are, and you can't change people.
Okay.
And I think I was trying to change you at the very beginning, to make you more, business-like, but I realized, that wasn't going to work. you know, and it's not my
Your job or
my job to change you. I mean, people change because they want to, not because, you know, but it wasn't anything bad anyways.
No, you didn't have bad intent. You just you saw the better in me. You saw the future in me. You saw what I could be. That's why. And you look as a friend, because I consider you one of my best friends.
And I think I ended up apologizing and saying, you know what, I am so sorry.
Are we doing confessions now on this show?
Yeah, because it was so hard. Because it is hard to change someone. You know, when a woman takes on that role, or when you marry someone and you know that they have these flaws, you know, and we try to change them, it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're marrying them just the way they are, you know. You know, so,
and business, like they say, business is a marriage.
Yeah.
And they say that. No, you never heard that term?
I guess I have, but I don't know if that was like.
Yeah, they say business is like a marriage, you know, because you got to make it work. You know, it's yes, we could throw in the towel anytime, you and I, and we get it. We get in our disagreements a lot because like, we have different methods and different ways we want to do things. But at the end of the day, you know, it's like a marriage, and they always say that business partners, when two business partners get into a business, it's like a marriage, and they have to make it work, especially if you want to make it work.
Yeah, and I think also like what we've done, you know, we're starting to really really set our what do they call that?
Boundaries?
Our boundaries, you know. You respect my space, I respect yours. Stay in your lane, stay in mine.
Yes.
Because you tend to.
Wow. Yeah. Stay in your carpool lane. We got carpool monitor here.
Yeah, so that's why I really want to talk about this, because you know the different styles of doing things, you know, and maybe, you know, a lot of you might be faced with that, you know, even at home with our own husbands, with our kids, you know, the way we you know, we communicate with, you know, the people around us is so important. I feel like I like to give people. And I know you used this word earlier, power, but I like to empower people. And that's why my thing has always been empowering businesses. So I like to empower the person that is, you know, working hard, you know, and really trying to make it in the, you know, with what they build and their dream. I like to empower people that way. You use the word power different than the way,
yes, because like I shared with you earlier off camera, is that, you know, men, the communication. So men, we speak differently than women do, especially in the workplace, you know, and it's we use different type of words, but we understand each other. And I gave you an example, and I did it with Aiden, our producer. I and he understood me perfectly that it didn't mean. And I found something that right now that coincides with what I was sharing with you.
But can I just say that instead of choosing the word power the way that you use it, it's more, men are more likely to command.
Okay.
Command.
Well, okay. Yeah.
Versus, you know.
And I understand that. And right now, and the times that it is right now, women want the equal rights. Women want to have that position as well. But like I said, men speak differently. That's why our communication, and let me read this, and you're going to understand, because it says it perfectly, because maybe I used the wrong word, power, but as I use that word, I use the right word because it's amongst men, but because if there's a woman, she can't process it like another man can, so it comes off wrong. But this is what it means. Women tend to be more expressive, tentative, polite, social, while men are on average more assertive and dominant when it comes to communication styles.
Yeah. So here I have
Voila.
something that is so true. So yesterday I was watching you when you were communicating with a man or with men in general. Your handshake is so like aggressive, you know, versus, you know, me, I'm more like, you know, I like to stand like next to someone and have a conversation. And every time I would try to get in there and talk while you were talking, it was almost like you overpower like what I was saying, and my comments were getting disregarded because I'm more soft.
Yeah, and that's right, because what we've been taught as men, and especially in business, and I've noticed that very much, is they won't do that to you. So give me your hand. We're going to do a handshake. Give me your hand real quick as you're shaking my hand. I'm serious. This is it. It goes like this. See,
No,
no,
stop.
hold on. No, stop. Well, hold on. I'm gonna finish. But men, when we shake each other's hands,
No, I
we
try
have
to squeeze the hand.
Yeah, we have to go
I try
firm.
I try to do that because if I go soft, I don't know.
Yeah, no, but see, men to men, we go boom because it shows more the dominance. And that's a power thing between when two men are talking. Because we have to remember this, and remember this, guys, is in every conversation there is the alpha, and then there's the I forgot the other word, but there's the oh my god, okay, there's the one who takes control basically in every conversation. I read a book that's called, you could look it up. It's a very good book. It was given to me. It's called Pitch Anything. And it's for sales. So if you're in sales, look up the book. It's called Pitch Anything. I read it. It's a great book. I'm actually going to be reading it again. My good friend Jimmy picked it up again because we read it together because we were sales. And it talks about in every room, because there's a theory that says to every 100 no's, you'll get a yes. In this book, it says that's a pathetic quote. Because in every conversation, there is the alpha in every conversation. And if you get a no, it just meant that you were not the alpha. Because for me, when I go to vendors and stuff, I'm a sucker when I go to vendors' booths to buy stuff, because if they're really good, I'll end up buying. And I knew they got me. So in every conversation you have, even if it's man and woman, maybe it's a husband and wife, best friend or best friend, in every conversation, doesn't matter, there is the alpha. And if you're getting no's and this and that, and yes, it's the way you speak. So get the book. It's called Pitch Anything. It's a really, really good book.
It's weird because when I communicate something, like if something's bothering me and I'm very like I'm upset about it or whatever, I tend to communicate with a lot of emotion.
And that's what I said
My
here.
problem.
Yeah.
I tend to communicate with a lot of emotion, whether I'm mad or sad, and almost to the point where sometimes I just feel like I'm gonna cry or something. And
Yes.
and whether it's with you or with David, I feel like, right away his voice, because when he tells me like what's wrong, and boom, I communicate whatever it is. I don't know if I'm looking for a soft answer or a soft landing, like a hug or whatever. Instead, he right away goes for the fix. And he raises his voice.
Yeah, men want to do solution.
Raises his voice. His voice goes up, and he's just like, this and that. Okay, and like right away, like I get, but I don't know if I like that all the time, because sometimes we're not looking for answers.
You're just looking for
we're not
someone to
looking
listen
for a
to you.
solution.
Yeah, you want someone to listen.
We just want someone to listen, and especially if I'm like bawling or whatever, sometimes just don't say anything.
Right, because someone like yourself and me, and we said this a lot, we're very similar, guys. Believe me, we're very similar in many ways. We say that we like to talk it out because we are actually coming up with we're coming up with the solution as we're venting out to each other. So there's no need to give the solution. But men, yes, intention. And what you just said right now, I have this other thing that verifies exactly what you said, and I just as I read it, I do it. Your husband does it because you just said he does it, and this is what it is. It says some common differences include, what are the gender differences in conversational style? Women using more emotional language, men interrupting more often, and women using more nonverbal cues. Like what you said, you go, and you do that a lot. I'm like, what's wrong?
Because sometimes we're not looking for an answer. We're looking for, sometimes just empathy towards the issue. I tend to shut down when David raises his voice because he's already giving me a solution. And I tend to look for a more like a touch or just sometimes just silence. Just listen to let me vent, and don't say anything, because sometimes we're not looking for a solution. We're looking for, I sometimes want to be challenged on certain things that I get emotional about. I want to be challenged, and I expect a different answer. He wants to always make sure that I'm gonna be okay, that I don't have to live with that stress. He's gonna fix it for me, whatever it is. I could just say, like, I'll give you the perfect example. It could be a weekend. I could just say, oh my God, I need my nails done. They're so bad. And then he'll be like, oh my God, again,
Well, because I have to agree, women get them done like it's almost like every week. It's like, my God.
Yeah, he'll be like, oh my God, again. Does that mean you need money? You know?
All right, Dave.
And right away, like, you know, he wants to solve every problem. I just say that because, you know, sometimes I'm looking at a thick cuticle.
Yeah, you're speaking out loud.
Yeah, but right away he thinks, you know, again.
Let me fix it.
Yeah, or you need money or whatever, and so.
Do you know what? Does that really work? Because I'm gonna do that to Dave. Dave, dang, I need a new hat. My hat's really horrible.
No,
right now.
whatever. Not about that. He's not gonna give me money for a hat. You know, it's like me saying, "Oh my God, this dress doesn't fit me anymore." What, you want new dresses? I'm not gonna say that.
Dang it, man! Come on, Monica, we can work it. What?
Weirdo.
Yeah.
So,
but I hear what you're saying, and that's the thing that men, yes, we want to be, but you know, and yes, the communication's a lot different, and yes, it's very difficult because, like what we read earlier, men are more authoritative, dominant in our things, in our conversations, and sometimes even when we're discussing certain things, you'll tell me, hey, we're just having a conversation, bring it down. Because I get very passionate when I'm sharing about a project that we want to do.
Because I feel like you like sometimes like you and other people that I've talked to that are men, like I'm not even done saying what I'm saying, and you already have an answer for me fabricated.
Oh yes, most definitely.
So you're not doing active listening. To me, to be an active listener, it takes skill. Mm-hmm. It takes skill. And another thing too, like I've had conversations with you about something about me, and you're like right away like, oh my God, that has happened to me, and then it's all about you. It's no longer about me. So you're disregarding what I am saying, you know, what I am saying, and people that know about, you know, communication skills, like they pick it up and they feel offended, because when somebody tells me like, oh my God, you know, my mother just passed away or whatever, like how dare me say, oh, you know, I can't even, like sometimes it's better just to stay quiet and just send like a text, than to pick up the phone and call, because you don't know how they're really feeling.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know how people are really feeling, you know, because a lot of people are disconnected from those emotions because it hasn't happened to them. They haven't lost their mom, so they don't know. They haven't lost their dad, you know, when it comes,
exactly.
you know, and we shouldn't, and I always try to say, you know what, I'm not telling you my story so that you can give me a better story, you know, because you have a better story than I do. My story is my story, yours is yours, but there's a time and place to share that. Right now, I just want to share about mine. Can you please just listen, you know? And some people have a hard time doing that. They feel like if they tell you their story, they're going to make you feel better, which is not true. You know,
I guess it's just that the men, well, for myself, is that when a woman is sharing something to me, like I'll say, for instance, like today, my wife, she was asking me to do something, but she was giving me the whole background of what she wanted me to do, and I go, you know, like, you just confused me. What are you asking? And when she said, can you do this to this to this, done. Because sometimes I'm trying to, as a man, I'm processing what you're saying, but the women like to give a backstory sometimes of what it is, what we just want. We just need, for instance, men are like this. This is how men
your listening span is very small.
Yes, because this is what happens to men. And I know a lot of men, if you're listening to this, you're going to agree with me 110%. I could call my wife and I be like, hey, we're going to go over Jimmy's house, and we're going to have a barbecue. Can you call them and let them know, and ask them what time and stuff like that? Okay, sure. I'll call up my friend. Hey, so what time we need to be there? 10? All right, cool. Everything's good? Yeah. You need anything? No. All right. Bye. Boom. We got off the phone. Wife was saying, so what time we be there? 6. What are we bringing? He said, we're good. But you didn't ask like this and that. You didn't go into, and it's like, no, we're cool. Like we knew, like the communication is that brief. But women like to elaborate. So she'll have to call her girlfriend and be like, so what would you like me to bring? And then they go into a whole big discussion. But men are very just straightforward.
Yeah, you guys are not, like, the details of that
don't matter.
Yeah, so we already know that.
Because you already know that. Yeah, see? But
it's common sense.
Because I'm still going to bring something, because I already know in my head we're going to share.
Exactly. So
but women want to know more.
Yeah,
it's just common sense for men.
Yeah.
But women want the detail.
Yeah.
You know, because I know I'm not going to show up empty-handed. But what? But women are like, but what did he want? Whatever I bring, doesn't matter. Like, it's cool. Like, we're good. It's
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I mean, definitely true. But what are some ways that you feel that I know I have some ways that I feel that we can have, especially if we're here long term, and I think I've told you that, whenever we get into disagreement about something, you probably already know what it's about, but it leads to that because the communication, you haven't absorbed it. You just heard me say it, but sometimes you're on your phone and you're like, yeah, I'm listening, but I'm just in this video, I'm doing this thing on social media or whatever. So you're not. I think it's disrespectful because you're not really listening to what I'm saying, and you're not really. So sometimes we.
So you feel like I'm not really fully engaged, but you do that as well.
Yes.
Because I'll be talking to you, and you're on your.
Because you're teaching me to
I
be
gotta
that
get. I gotta
way.
get. Wow, I am teaching her.
Yeah, because
Aiden, she
I've
says I am
learned.
teaching her.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah, you're saying, yeah, I don't teach you anything. Oh my God.
teaches me all about things.
Aren't you the older one here?
Be quiet. No, I'm the young one.
I learned from you,
but
sister.
It's weird because you right now right now at this age that you are, I don't know how old you are, but you want things to be like, like whatever, like fast and this and that or whatever. But let me tell you, men, when they get older, it's all about storytelling. It's all about storytelling.
I can't wait to tell my stories.
I can't even ask him one question when he'll go into a whole book of when I was 19 and when I was, and I'm just like, oh my God, get to the point, please.
No, that's one thing about
like,
me. No,
for me, my attention span on things like that, not to be disrespectful or anything, are
your dad's listening to this.
Are very. That's okay. I don't care. He knows that already. I said, just get to the point, please. I get it. Yes, you were 19 at one point, but yeah, okay. Yes, I heard the story like 10 times. So did I tell you? Yes, like 10,000 times. Okay, get to the point. I feel like I'm disrespectful in that way, and as he gets older, he gets hurt. So I have to be mindful of that too, and then know that if I'm going to ask a question, make sure that I have 45 minutes or an hour.
No, and I've done that too. When I've called my dad in the past, I've knew that I had to have at least a half hour because he wanted to share with me all the stuff he went through, and with his whole, my mom and dad weren't together, so with all his problems that he went through, he's already told me, but I know when I call, I have to have at least a 30 minutes time span because he's going to let me have it again. Like, I already know. Everybody knows. My brothers, everybody know, like, hey, did you talk to Dad? Yeah, did he tell you again about the... Of course.
I think we all do that. We all do that, but we need to learn to appreciate, these stories because when they're no longer here, you're going to remember that, and that's something that you'll probably share about them, and we'll be laughing about it because we'll think it's funny, but
we don't like it now, but then later on you'll miss it. You'll miss it.
We'll definitely be
So one of the things about communication is this, man, and I've learned this. I've learned this a lot, and maybe it can help you guys out there, even with sales or anything that you might be doing as an entrepreneur, business owner, is I'm very observant when I'm speaking to somebody and start sharing with them. I make sure I have eye contact with them. From there, I make sure their body language. Because if I feel like I through their body language and the things I'm saying, yes, I'm looking in their eyes, but through my peripheral vision, I can see their... this is really serious. If they're bored or I'm losing them. And that's the time where you have to stop. Because, like you said, you could keep rambling, and dude, you've lost them. And now you lost the sale. Now they don't want to take your call. Now, oh my God, because if Monica called you right now, she's going to, oh my God, or when I go see them, it's just like an hour. Body language and part of communication, like you said, communication is watching their body language. Like when men are talking, yeah, we're animated. Yeah. And women, they're more, oh, okay, yes, look at this. It's very interesting.
But there is those in the workplace that we've seen that, women that are very emotional. And
yes, a woman can become emotional draining to where, they're coming and you're like,
Oh my God, yeah. What stories does she have now? It's like, and that's kind of mean, so I think I've learned a lot, in the past, 10, 15 years of being around a lot of people and hearing and seeing their styles, whether it's a CEO or executive or a salesperson or, someone that has their own business or, even managers from restaurants, their styles, and I've learned to adapt, and me too. I observe their personality, how they are, and I know right away if I need to make this short to the point, or is it going to be like they need more explanation because they're busy people. And a lot of people, especially right now with emails too, nobody wants to read a big old email that shows so much like explanation. Nobody's going to read all that. Right. So keeping your emails, short and sweet to the point, it's very effective. But always learning, learning things and a little bit of people's personal life, and knowing
that's good.
As a manager, you have to know are they emotional? Are they more tend to like, oh my God, start crying? Like if you tell them something, just bring something up to their attention. You have to be sensitive, and you do have to have practice. Those skills, because it's important. I once made someone cry, and I didn't even say anything that bad. Yeah, someone that worked for me, I made her cry.
Wow.
Because I pointed something out, but in a loving way.
But they just didn't know how to receive it.
Because they were in the wrong and they knew, she got, she started crying a lot, and I felt bad, but I had to say it, but I said it in a very loving way.
As long as you said it in a loving way, sometimes that's someone's tactic is to do that so that you can have sympathy and you can stop.
Of course, and I let her have her her moment, and then and then things were okay after that, but. But with my kids, same thing. I never said my sons needed to be tough and be be like arrogant or whatever. My sons are I raised them just like I raised my daughters. I always listened to their problem, and if I didn't have an answer, I would tell them, let's talk about this tomorrow. Let me think about it. I didn't right away give them an answer or was so fast as to fix their problem, because I wanted them to go into dialogue with themselves about how they wanted to solve that problem, especially as teenagers. You don't always want to give your kids the answer to every problem. They got to learn to be problem solvers on their own, because when they're out the door, they're out there in the world alone, and they have to make decisions for themselves. Mom and dad are not going to be just a phone call away sometimes, because sometimes we can't come to the phone. So they have to learn those skills in order to be able to survive in the world.
No. And so I to me, with communication, I believe it looks ugly when a woman is trying to do what I just said earlier, the whole, that men, on average, men are more assertive and dominant. Now, women will try that, to be more assertive and dominant and in certain workplaces. And you could see them right off the bat, where you could be like, wow. But when women do it, women have taken on that word, I'm a boss, I'm a girl boss, I'm a boss babe, and this and that, because they want to be, oh my God, because they want to be the dominant, assertive one. So women could try to do that, but it will come off wrong, because I've had times where even my wife, she'll get offended when she hears women speak to me a certain way, and she doesn't like it. And I'll be like, it's okay, because we're doing business. Now,
you're not her son.
No, you're not understanding. We're doing business. Because in her way, women are more, like it says, are more, they express more in being sensitive, polite, social. That's how they communicate. But sometimes a woman, because she might be in a man's industry, will try to take on that role of being assertive and dominant, and other women might not like and say, who does this woman think she is to be talking to men like that? And it might happen, and stuff, but I've shared with my wife, no, that's just the way the woman works. It's fine. I don't get offended, because men, like I said, we're like that to each other. I could tell, and I know that she's trying to do that to me, and it's perfectly fine. I'm okay with it. And honestly, my success around me.
So you know, Cindy, I have yelled at him.
Oh, she knows.
Times.
You're one of them she talked about. No, just wait. I'm just playing.
I have yelled at him lots of times.
No, but see, but you have a friendship. It's completely different.
Yeah.
But you know, we just, you know, it's just in the workplace. You know, men, we talk a certain way. Women, they want to be in the conversation, and there's a meme going around on social media, TikTok, and all that stuff, and it says women want to know the truth, but they just cannot handle it, and that's the bottom line. Like, could you just be really honest with me and let me know? And then the man's like, really though? And it's honestly a trick question, guys. Do not fall for it, because when the man says, well, you know, you kind of do act like this. Really? So that's how I act. And you're like, wait, you asked me.
I know.
You asked me.
I know. Like when you told me that, you know, someone said that I have a chip on my shoulder, you know, it's like, okay, in a sense, I might, you know, to a certain point, but whoever makes those assessments, you know, they might not really know me. They might know me just because they see me on videos or they see the superficial side of my life. But if they really knew me, they would know that I don't have
a chip on your shoulder. Yeah,
I don't.
No, you don't. You're a very loving, caring person.
You know, and it's unfair for someone to say that. Do we take comments, you know, negative comments in a negative way? Does it change us? No, it actually reduces our confidence in a sense, because some of us don't have that thick skin. I knew coming into doing this and what we've been doing and this and that and all the things that we're being challenged with at the current moment, you know, and even before that, I've been challenged a lot from the outside. I don't know what thick skin looks like, but I've been able to just like
wipe it off.
You know, wipe it off of me and move on. And actually, it's encouraging to me sometimes that people say the things that they say. You know, have I cut people out of my life? 100% I have. You know, because there's certain things that I will tolerate, and then there's certain things that I will not tolerate ever. You know, that are being said about me. And how dare you and still talk to me? So I think, you know, I think
it goes back to communication. Honestly, it is communication.
But there's some people that you just cannot communicate with. They're not even worth your time to communicate with in the workplace, because they're stubborn. They think their way is the only way. And so for you to try to change that is a lot of effort and a lot of work. So if I'm not going to get anything out of it, I don't even waste my time, because to me, I would try active listening. I would practice different ways of communicating with people that I care about, people that are working in my environment, that are, you know, successful, that I can learn something from. But people that are just out there and that's all they know is gossip, and they engage in these big, you know, conversations about this because they think they know everything, I don't waste my time. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to have a dialogue and a conversation about a subject, let's have it in person. Don't attack me, you know, from the outside, meaning through social media or telling other people, because to me that's cheap and I don't engage in that. So if that puts a chip on my shoulder, I'm okay with that.
No, and I understand. And I got told that a long time ago, and I still get told that, you know, people use that word cocky. Like they say, you know what, JR is a very cocky guy. And I believe when I was in church and wanting to become a pastor and stuff, people used to tell me, "Oh, you know, you're very cocky. You need to stop that." And when I stopped pursuing to become a pastor and came out into the business world, people were saying that was wrong.
So when somebody says that, what does that mean?
I'm going to. They said that was wrong, that they did that to you, because then what I was doing is I was suppressing a certain thing to be humble. But when I came out to the real world and said, you know what, and I left that to be in the business world, it's confidence.
Cocky is confidence?
It's confidence. They just didn't like my confidence because my confidence
Were you
got
overly
me.
confident?
People can be overly confident, but when somebody's confident, they could see it, because when somebody walks into a room, you can tell with their aura and their vibe how they're confident, because they walk and they look a certain way. Where if somebody else walks in the room, their head low, but that's what I'm saying. It's all about the body, and so I walk with confidence. I speak with confidence. When I'm with people, I'm not afraid to talk to people because I know what I know, and if I don't know something, I ask with confidence, teach me. So I understood now, and I had to build myself that confidence back up because I would suppress it because I was like, no, I can't be confident because they said I'm cocky. and no lie, it's funny, but that's how it was messing me up. And now I'm like, wait a minute, I was not cocky. I'm confident because I know what I know. I know what I do and what to be successful in. Like for me, I do social media management. I'm confident in that. I could come up here and speak it because I'm confident in it. But some people will be like, oh, this dude's cocky. How? Because I'm confident. But that's their way because of their hating. Mm-hmm. They're hating. So they want to bring you down with them because they want to hate on what you project. Because a lot of people, have to remember, a lot of people walk around with so much negativity that they cannot be around positive people. And when negative people are around positive people, they're going to nitpick and try to find anything negative they can to prove their point because they're negative to draw into negativity.
Well, and it's funny how you say that because of the way that I dress sometimes too, and I go places, like people automatically assume that I'm conceited because they think I have money. They think that I have money, that I'm conceited. So one lady came up to me that she's known me for about 6-7 years or so, and she goes, oh my God, I was talking to a couple of ladies that there, and she's like, oh my God, how's the queen doing? And I was like, whoa, I was gonna take. At first, I didn't know how to answer that because I was like, the queen, huh?
You know why? Because you're so good that that it's a little jab. Even though she's trying to be funny, it's a little jab because the Bible talks about that. It's they're throwing a jab, but they know what they're really trying to say to you.
Because I feel like if you don't know me on a personal level,
you shouldn't be playing with me like that.
You shouldn't be calling me queen.
Yeah.
If you know me and you and I have had conversations and this and that, when you call me queen, I embrace that queen right away.
Because you know what? At the end of the day, too, that word queen could also mean...
It can mean a lot of things.
No, the B word.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the queen, meaning there's the... And you could take it as that. And I think because you don't know her, that's how you took it, that she was calling you that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, whoa, because don't get me wrong, what is a queen?
Yeah. Yeah, and the same person, and I don't know if she watches this show, but that's okay. I don't really care. The same person, one time when I got back from Maui, I got back and I was really tan, and then I see her only like every so often, maybe twice a year or something. We don't know each other personally. She tells me, it must be nice. Oh, you're so tan. Oh my God, it must be nice. And then she walks away, and I'm just like, wow. She follows my social media. She has a comment about everything. Little does she know that social media, they're appearances. It's not really, that's not your real life. You share what you want people to perceive.
Yeah.
Right? Of what you're posting.
Yeah,
right?
Of course. You don't want to show the you know what I mean? The bad stuff. I mean,
yeah.
What people don't understand is this: when you go to Hawaii or Maui, and you're posting. People don't understand, or even myself, I go to, like, say, a Dodger game, and people are like, oh, wow, must be nice for him to go to a Dodger game. Must be nice for her to go to Maui. They don't understand that we've worked. We've saved. We've done certain things to make that happen. So that's our way to splurge ourselves.
But I think the reason why she calls me queen is because she probably thinks that I get everything that I want.
You kind of do, but okay, it's fine. I'm not gonna go. We're not gonna go into that. We're gonna stick with communication.
See, now our communication skills are going in a different direction because he's agreeing with her. Totally agreeing with her, but it's all right. You know what? At the end of the day, it is what it is. But just making small changes, because I feel like our relationship is long term. Long term meaning years. Since he told me he wanted to be here until he's 80, you said it. So I'm assuming we have to. Sometimes we just have to make it work, but we have to communicate in a way that works for the two of us.
Well, business partners. If like talk to people. Like if they're a business partner, they have to communicate.
But I think our relationship is even harder. Why? Because not only are we business partners, but we're also friends.
We become great friends,
Our
yes.
families, know each other. Sometimes, we go to parties, we do this or whatever. So we have to separate the two, which is something that I feel that you need to learn to do, because he talks to me about work even at parties, even when we're having a good time.
And then we want to do business, but she wants to talk about parties.
Because I'm at a party.
No, then we're here at the office and she wants to talk about parties. And I'm like, it's time to work. So I guess, we both need to learn to, communicate a lot better. Well, because you know what? At the end of the day, yes, men, and the way I am, I believe I consider myself an entrepreneur. So I'm 24/7. That's me. My wife will vouch for that. My children will vouch for that. I'm 24/7. It doesn't matter if the business is doing great. We're doing, awesome, amazing. To me, when you're passionate about something, you talk about it all the time.
and of course, people that own their own business, of course, they.
Your husband always says that. No talk. No talking about business. We're playing Mexican dominoes.
But we need to learn to separate. We need to really, embrace, fun moments and separate the two, even if it's for an hour, JR, or two.
Oh, we could get to work even though you don't
Because, of course, anybody that owns a business, I don't care what it is, I don't care if you're a millionaire, you're always thinking about work, you're always thinking about this, but it's not healthy sometimes. Sometimes you need to just let it go for a little bit and really enjoy and embrace the moment that you have with the people that are there with you at that time.
No, I understand that, and communication is the key, and just being a good partnership. I believe what we've been learning, and maybe you're in a partnership right now or going to get into a partnership. I would it's always good to do a trial run.
Good communication skills.
Yeah, no, but do a trial run. Don't release. I wouldn't sign agreements right away. Do a trial run, and
that's what we did, by the way.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't seal the deal until about 2 years later.
Yeah.
A lot of people get into business right away, and then when something happens, everything goes.
Yeah.
It was a waste of time. They separate. They go their own ways. They disagree because people shut down.
Yeah, no, people shut down. The business hurts, and then you're going to hurt other people and stuff. But we're still growing. We're still communicating. We're still, because like I said, we both have different ways of
different
styles of communication, different styles of doing business, different styles in a lot of things. But the great thing about us and the great thing about anybody being partners in a business is that you have two different styles, so you could relate to people in a different way, because some people might like you and might not like what I have to offer, but then there's some people that might want to deal with me and might overlook her. But the beauty of it is when you have a business partner is you still win them over because you have a team, and they eventually, if they liked Monica and didn't really like me, I would eventually grow on them because she will show them how I am, and vice versa. I will show how she is and what she could bring. So it does have its benefits, but you got to communicate. You got to be open, and lay out things and like we said earlier, stay in our lanes. We have to stay in our lanes and discuss things. Just discuss things And guys, it's going to take time because women like to be a lot of emotional.
Oh my God! No, but
I know we want to get the meeting over and get it out.
No, and before we end this conversation, I also noticed something. So in your industry, a lot of people respect you. A lot of people they know a lot about you, and so when you introduce me, at that present moment outside of here, it's weird. They just kind of shake my hand. They're respectful, right? And then we move on, right? But when they actually come here and they see and they're like, well, what is this about? And they really inquire or whatever, they tend to have to right away embrace me and respect me because now I have something that they didn't even know about, right? Because you can't explain everything to a person when you just meet them. You don't want to, say all
overwhelm
this stuff.
them, oh my God.
Yeah, and vice versa with me. When we go somewhere and I introduce you, right away people embrace you because they know you're with me, and some people respect me a lot. And
because at the end of the day, you business partners, you're vouching for each other.
Yeah,
you're putting a stamp of approval on me, and I'm putting a stamp of approval on you. So people are saying, okay, Monica, if you trust him, I trust him. Okay, JR, if you trust her, I trust her, and that's the beauty of it. So
But it's two completely different industries.
it is two, and we're meshing them together, as you guys have been seeing them a lot lately.
I don't know how to be Hollywood. I have no idea.
She doesn't, guys. All right, thank one of our sponsors, Med Spa Deluxe LA.
What? I don't know how to act around Hollywood people.
Oh, act. I said you don't. You say you don't look Hollywood.
No.
Okay, act is
Oh
different
my
story.
God.
Okay.
Of course I look Hollywood.
Oh
Shoot.
my God. Cut, guys, cut. No,
No. I'm saying that I don't know how to act around people in those industries, you know.
well, because you know what it is, and how I
it's
am.
different.
It's the language.
Yeah, it's different.
In Hollywood, yes, there's a different type of language being spoken. You know, it's hard to explain right now, but there's just a different way we speak. In the business that GWC is and stuff, it's a different language. So I am a little more reserved because I'm trying to listen to the language that's being used. When you come with me, you're a little more reserved because you're trying to listen to the language that's being used.
Yeah, people are asking, what movies were you in? Let me see what stories I can make up right now.
Have you ever seen the Disney Channel? No.
Wow. Well, I was in commercials when I was little, you know, but...
All right. So, any last words on communication before we go?
No,
You're
just,
good.
You know, you just figure it out, people. Make it. You know, make sure that you guys are active listening. Is probably my best request at this point. Active listening always.
Me too.
And be careful before you give an opinion. You know, listen first because not every opinion that you have will be valuable to the person that you're giving it to. So just be careful.
And what's your thing? Say yes before saying no.
Oh,
and we're
still practicing that.
we're still practicing that.
Oh my
You know,
gosh,
but you know, this has been a great conversation. I love the fact that, you know, thank you. This is another great conversation. I love this. I think it's going to go down in the books as one of a great episode and stuff. And if there's anything else you guys want us to touch on because you just love the fact that we hit in certain issues, DM us, let us know, comment. We want the feedback and stuff.
Yeah, our next few episodes, we won't be having, you know, conversations like this. We have some great guests.
Oh yeah, we have guests
coming up on our next couple of shows. So we try to just mix it up a little bit, so it doesn't get, you know, so that we're not always business, so that you really get an opportunity to know who we are. Right now, we're not faking; we're being ourselves for real. This is real.
Yep.
It can't get more real than this.
Yep.
Well, it can, but we're not going to show that. You know, but if you want to see more real, come visit us. You know,
that's the truth. That is the truth. Everybody, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. You guys, every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for supporting us. Really appreciate it. And if you want to become a sponsor as well, hey, DM us, talk to us. We're doing great work right here in the San Gabriel Valley. But until next week,
thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening, everyone.